O gentle Romeo, if you do love me, pronounce it faithfully. Or if you think that I am too quickly won, I'll frown and be perverse and say to you no, so that you will romance me more. What do we call this when two people like each other, and they both kind of know they like each other, but one person's like pretending not to like them? What do we call that when someone's doing that? It's like, you know, oh, I don't want to hear that. Don't say that to me. Like, you know, flirting, but, you know, they get the feeling that the other person likes you, but they're doing what?
Playing hard to get.
Playing hard to get, right? That's what she's saying. It's like, well, I could frown and tell you no, and she's going to say be perverse or strange, meaning, you know, act like I don't love you. I could play hard to get, but it's too late. You already heard me, what I said, right? So that's what she's meaning here. Okay, so she's saying, and it also, you know, that Romeo will keep wooing her, romancing her here. Okay, so but she says, but in truth, fair Montague, I'm too fond of you, and therefore you may think that my behavior is light. But trust me, gentlemen, I'll prove more true than those that have more cunning, more intelligence to be strange. When she says strange, you know, more intelligence to be play hard to get, right? I should have played hard to get, I must confess, but that you overheard before I was aware my true love's passion. So Romeo already heard her confess her love. Therefore, pardon me, and don't accuse this yielding to light love which the dark night hath so discovered. Romeo, lady, by yonder blessed moon I vow that tips with silver all these fruit tree tops. Juliet, oh swear not by the moon, the inconstant moon that monthly changes in her circle orb, lest that your love prove likewise changeable. Romeo, what shall I swear by? Juliet, do not swear at all, or if you will, swear by your gracious self, which is the God of my idolatry, and I will believe you. What's idolatry? I put this up on the board yesterday. What's idolatry? What's an idol? We have this in the Old Testament, right? The Israelites engaged in idolatry, the Babylonians, the Egyptians. What's idolatry? Yeah.
Something you look up to worship.
Worshiping what, though? What's an idol, then? So idolatry is a kind of worship given to what? A physical thing that's not God, but which people treat as God, right? Okay, so we kind of put it together. So an idol is a false god, and idolatry is worshiping a false god, right? You get in trouble for that. It's against the commandments, right? So listen to what Juliet's saying. Swear by yourself, which is the God of my idolatry. She's putting Romeo above God. Wow. Okay, so she says that, and he says, if my heart's dear love, and then she interrupts him and changes her mind. Well, do not swear, although I have joy in you, I have no joy in this contract tonight. You have to look at your margin. Contract is betrothal. What is betrothal? What's she talking about? Having joy in doing what tonight? What's betrothal? What happens when you get betrothed? Married, right? So she has no interest in a marriage contract tonight. It is too rash. Okay? Rash would be like irrational. What's irrational? Unreasonable, right? It's too unadvised. It's too sudden. It's too like the lightning that ceases to be before it even lightens. Sweet good night. And then in the movie they have Romeo speaking these words, but it's actually Juliet. This bud of love by summer's ripening breath may prove a beauteous flower when next we meet. Good night, a sweet repose and rest come to thy heart as that within my breast. Romeo, oh, will you leave me so unsatisfied? Juliet, what satisfaction could you have tonight? Romeo, the exchange of thy love's faithful vow for mine. Turn the page. So we should all be on the page with the hawk here at the bottom. All right. Juliet, I gave you mine before you did request it, and yet I would wish I could give it to you again. Romeo, would you withdraw it? For what purpose, love? Juliet, but to be frank, to give it to you again. And yet I wish for the thing I have. Now let's talk about what she says here. My bounty is as boundless as the sea. My love is as deep as the sea. The more I give to thee, the more I have. For both are infinite. What do we call this kind of exaggerated language? Brittany, sit up, please. That's, my love is as deep as the sea. It's as boundless as the sea. It's infinite. I would climb the highest mountain for you, baby. I'd cross the sea to be with you. What do we call this kind of exaggerated language? We haven't talked about this. I'm just seeing if you guys know what this is called. No. I'm just seeing if you may have crossed this in junior high. Okay, it's called hyperbole. She's being hyperbolic, hyperbole. We'll learn about that when we do poetry, right? But we associate love with these exaggerations, right? My love for you is infinite. I'd climb the highest mountain. I'd fight a whole army for you, right? This really exaggerated speech. Now the nurse calls, and Romeo says, or Juliet says, Montague, be true, stay here, or wait for me, I will come again. While she's gone, on top of page 545, Romeo can't believe what's happening to him. Oh, blessed, blessed night. I'm afraid that being that it's night, that this is all a dream. It's too sweet to be real. Juliet comes back again. 3 words, dear Romeo. Good night indeed. If your intention of love is honorable, your purpose marriage, how long have they known each other? Your purpose marriage, a few hours, maybe even 2 hours, and they're talking about marriage. This is the same night as the party. So if your purpose is marriage, send word to me tomorrow by one that I'll get to come to you. Where and what time you will perform the rite. What rite would that be then? If we're talking about marriage, what rite would that be? Marriage rites, right? To exchange wedding vows. And all my fortunes at your feet I'll lay and follow you, my Lord, throughout the world. The nurse interrupts them, and then Juliet says, but if you don't mean well, I beg you to cease your efforts. So we've jumped a couple lines down. Romeo, so thrive my soul. And we're going to skip here to the bottom of the page. Okay, so we're on 545 at the bottom. Juliet asks Romeo, what o'clock tomorrow shall I send to thee? Turn the page. Romeo, by the hour of 9. Juliet, I will not fail. It is 20 years until then. I have forgotten why I did call you back. Romeo, let me stand here till you remember it. Juliet, I shall forget to have you still stand there, remembering how I love your company. Romeo, and I'll wait to have thee still forget, forgetting any other home but this. There's just 2 lovers that just can't get away from each other. Like they can't break it off, right? It's like, this is so great being with you. I don't want to go home. I know I need to go home, but I just want to stay here. I forgot what I'm doing. Oh, me too. Let's just stay here. They don't want to leave each other. It's difficult. But finally, Juliet says here, line 176, it's almost morning, I would have you gone, and yet no farther than a wanton's bird who lets the little bird hop away, but he has a thread tied to the bird, and then he pulls the bird back to him, right? So that, because she's so jealous of freedom, of his freedom. Romeo, I wish I were your bird. Juliet, so do I. Yet I would kill you with too much cherishing. Good night. And this is another one of the most famous lines in the whole play. Good night, good night. Parting is such sweet sorrow that I shall say good night till it be morrow. Romeo, sleep dwell upon thine eyes, peace in thy breast. Would I were, or I wish I were, sleep and peace so sweet to rest. Hence will I go to my ghostly friar's close cell, his help to crave and my story to tell. And that takes us to scene 3, which you're reading for homework. All right, let me collect your notes. Go ahead and pass those forward. We're all collecting.
Don't do it.
All right, we're gonna go ahead and watch the movie and pick up from there. All right, while you're watching the movie, I want you to think about how the movie is shot, like the scenery. What do you think makes it romantic? I love the fact that this film is filmed in Italy, so we have a real Italian background setting. Okay, but what makes it romantic, and how does maybe the music also contribute to this scene?
Home and all my heart is here. Should I go home and all my heart is here?
Romeo! Cousin Romeo!
Is wise and on my life a stone home to bend.
Ran this way. I know he's jumped the wall. Let's call him to Mercutio.
Romeo! Luther! You jest of scars that never felt a wound. But soft, light through yonder window breaks. It is the east, and Juliet is the sun. Arise, fair sun, and kill the envious moon, who's already sick and pale with grief that thou hast made up far more fair than she. Wait. It is my lady. Oh, it is my love. Oh, that she knew she were. The brightness of her cheek would shame the stars as daylight doth the lamp. Her eyes, set in heaven, would give forth such light the birds would sing if it were not night. See how she leans her cheek upon her hand. Oh, that I were glove upon that hand, and I might touch that cheek.
And on me.
She speaks. Oh, speak again, bright angel.
Oh, Romeo, Romeo. Wherefore art thou, Romeo? Deny thy father and refuse thy name, or if thou wilt not but be sworn my love, and I will no longer be a Capulet.
Shall I hear more, or shall I speak at this?
Tis but thy name that is my enemy. Keep yourself if you will not call Montague. It's in the name. That which we call a rose by any other name would smell as sweet. So Romeo would. Romeo, cast off thy name, and for that name which is no part of you, take all of me.
I take you at your word. Call me your love, and I'll be new baptized henceforth. I never will be Romeo.
What man are you? Who hides in the shadows of the night to spy on me?
I will house tell you who I am. My name, dear saint, is hateful to myself, because it is an enemy to you.
I have not heard you speak 100 words, yet I do know the sound of that sweet voice. Are you not Romeo and a Montague?
Neither, dear love, if either you dislike.
Why have you come? This place is deathly, my kinsmen find you here.
With love's like wings did I perch these walls. For stony limits cannot hold love out, and what love can do that dares love attempt. Therefore thy kinsmen come stop to me. To see you severe more frightens me than 20 of their swords. Look, you've been sweet and I am proof against their enmity.
I would not for the world they saw you here.
I would not have missed the words you spoke.
I used to think that you had heard tonight. I should ask you now for an answer, brother. I know you will say hi. But if you swear you may prove false, you say the joke was not that there was perjuries. And will you now call me too fast? When have you not heard me, I should be slow as ice. Romeo, trust me, and I will prove more true than those who play the game with far more cunning might.
Lady, by yonder moon, I swear, that tips with silver all the fruit tree top.
I swear not by the moon, the inconstant moon that monthly changes in her settled orb. Lest that your love prove likewise variable.
What shall I swear by?
Don't swear at all. Innocent hard. Are we too rash, too unadvised, too quick?
No. For this bud of love and sun's breath will prove a beauteous flower next to me. I promise.
Go and good night, and let sweet rest come to your heart and mind within my breast.
Will you leave me so unsatisfied?
Satisfaction will you have tonight?
In exchange of your love's faithful vow for mine.
I gave you mine before you did request it. My lady! Madam! And all goodness! Sweet Montague, be true. Stay here a while and I will come again.
I'm afraid all this is but a dream. Too flattering sweet to be substantial.
I think if your love be pure, you'd have us married.
It is, my lady.
I was sent to you to know my fate. Where and what time you will perform the rite, and all my fortunes at your feet I lay. And follow you, my lord, throughout the world. My lady! 1,000 times the best.
1,000 times the worst, Monsieur Knight.
Romeo.
My love.
What time tomorrow shall I send to you?
At 9 o'clock.
I will not fail. 'Tis 20 years to mine. I've forgotten why I called you back.
Let me stand here till you remember it.
I should forget to have you still staying, remembering how I love my company.
And I'll still stay to help you still forget. Forgetting any other hope of this.
Good night, good night. Passing you such sweet sorrow, and just to say good night to you, well.
Sleep dwell upon mine eyes. Peace in thy breast.
Oh! You'll catch a chill.
Would I were sleep in peace. So sweet to rest.
Okay. So all of that we read done in like less than 10 minutes. Very quickly. All right. What did you think about what makes the scene romantic, do you think? What adds to the atmosphere of romance here? Anything that you liked, disliked? What's that mean, Michelle?
The music, it like sets the mood.
Okay. Anybody have any criticism of the music? I think it's good music. It's well tailored. It's well fitted to the scene. Anything else about the music? I really feel like it's too loud in this scene. I love music, but I feel like it overwhelms the two actors' dialogue, the two characters. So it's nice, but I felt like they could have dropped it down a couple notches. What else did you like about the scene, or think that makes it seem romantic? the setting. Anything? Any other comments about the video version?
All the words, like, the language is speaking.
Yeah, so they've changed a lot of the language is, it's more modernized. They've cut out certain phrases and words and parts of the dialogue, and then they've replaced it with other things that aren't in the play. So it's an adaptation, so it's not the exact play, but it's pretty well done. All right, guys, you can work on your worksheets. If you haven't finished them, you can start reading scene 3, where we finally meet the character Christian was talking about, Friar Lawrence. Okay, let's not do that now. You guys are talking about the play, right?
Yes, I had that.
Too romantic, right? Okay. And make sure you keep that for me. All right. All right, don't forget to come to study tables if you need help today. You coming again today? Okay. Every week. Are you coming again too? All right. I gave you a book, but this isn't. Okay, I want to make sure that.
What did you say? You have to drink. Oh no, she's lying. Wait, is she here today? Me dijeron que está pasando por algo muy grave. Gracias a Dios. No lo digo en inglés, pero yo solo. Ah, sí, no, sí, me Oh, really? Really?
Guys, I want to do this for a second. Tell me about the books you're reading. Just like quickly what it's about. Well, I just gave you a book on sports. You know what it's about yet? They're too early. Michelle, what are you reading? What's it about? Or give us the setting, main character.
It's about this girl that left her friend for a boy.
Left her friend for a boy. Okay, so that's going to be a problem. Ruby, what are you reading? What are you reading for independent reading?
Oh, this book.
So what's it about? What's the main conflict?
It's about chess.
About chess?
Yeah.
Okay. And the characters are in high school or college or?
They graduated, I
They graduated from high school.
think. From, yeah, I think.
Okay. Peyton, what are you reading?
The Darkest Mind.
The Darkest Minds. That sounds like something futuristic. Guys, listen up.
It's about like kids having superpowers. It's a movie.
Oh, it's a movie as well. Superpower Kids. Okay. Vishal, what are you reading?
Gathering Blue.
Okay, so that's one of the series, all right. What's it about?
It's about this girl and her mother. Her mother is dropped by a spirit. Like she's trying to run. She can feel the spirit slowly getting out of her, so they're trying to.
Her mother dies at the beginning, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's one of the books I grade for summer reading journal. Sophia, what are you reading? You're reading a classic,
To Kill a Mockingbird.
To Kill a Mockingbird. How far are you in there?
Like 4 pages.
Okay, so you're early on. Brittany, what are you reading?
I need to get a new book.
Okay, let's take
I
care
don't
of
have
it.
a book.
You go to the library.